Hello and welcome to Physical Therapy, a movie podcast inspired by the world of physical media and beyond. Sam, my name is Kurt. How are you?
My name is Sam, and I am doing okay.
Very nice. Kimberly is not with us tonight, our fearless producer.
Heard she's trapped inside of a massive Trojan horse.
In Kimberly's absence, I would love to just give a shout out to a film she is the executive producer of that is currently in theaters, perhaps near you. It's called Her Private Hell. It's directed by Nicholas Winding Refn, director of Drive with Ryan Gosling and The Neon Demon, among others. Kimberly shot this film last year for 3 months. She left like an hour after we got married to go abroad to make a movie. And it is now out in the theater, and people should check it out if it's near them.
Get out there and go. You're going to see a lot of neon lights and hotties.
Everything I'm looking for from a Nick Refn film. We are talking Sword and Sandal movies. We are inspired by the Odyssey. You seen the Odyssey, Sam?
Twice at this point.
Yeah, buddy.
Once in 70 millimeter and once in IMAX.
I'm here to recommend the Odyssey. I think I kind of did that last week or 2 weeks ago, but now it's out in the world, and
yeah, I think you were pretty calm about your recommendation. You were like, yeah, it's cool.
Turns out I'm actually obsessed with it.
Yeah. We're here to tell you that the Odyssey fucking rocks, y'all.
Fucking rocks. Do you have a placement for it in your Christopher Nolan pantheon?
We were talking about this at a birthday party last night, honestly. I don't know if I have my top 5 ironed out, but it's definitely in the top 5. What about you?
I think that it is his best movie.
Whoa. But is some of that recency bias?
I think it's mostly just scope and scale bias.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that it's recency bias. I mean, I think that it'll always be hard to knock out Dark Knight as my favorite of his movies.
Sure.
And Dunkirk is perfect. I don't think the Odyssey's perfect, but I think that it is on an achievement level, just his undisputed champion.
Yeah. I think with a gun to my head right now, I would have to say, in no particular order, but as a top 3, Dunkirk, Odyssey, Dark Knight.
Odyssey just keeps getting better in my head too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm I have a couple tickets remaining, just solo seats at the IMAX by us that I, grabbed a couple weeks ago, knowing that it would be hard to find. They're decent seats. One is for tomorrow as we're recording. Like I said, I've seen it twice. I don't think I'm going to go tomorrow.
Okay.
I think I'll try to alert the homies and see if anybody wants it that hasn't had a chance, especially to see it there yet.
Sure.
In 70 mil IMAX. But I'm sitting in a sweet spot of I'm good. I've seen it twice. I feel like we talked a lot about it offline, you and I, about how sort of satisfying it is on round 2 as far as answering questions and, knowing where you're headed. You can really appreciate a lot of the things going on in the first act, especially of the movie.
Yeah.
And I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to, for myself, I don't want to overdo it. So I think I'm good for now.
I do think I'm going to try to catch it one more time in IMAX before it leaves.
Me too. I would like a little space.
Sure. Well, I mean, I don't know what it's like out by you, but I just did some preliminary searching, and it doesn't look like Spider-Man, which is coming out this Friday, has any IMAX screens out here.
I would imagine it's similar here. I think that the demand for the Odyssey is huge.
Pretty
cool. Good for Nolan, man. So yeah, we're talking Sword and Sandal movies. We're doing an episode in the style that we haven't done in a while, where we both picked, I believe, 3 titles apiece from our physical media collections based on this theme, Sword and Sandal movies, of which the Odyssey, of course, qualifies. So yeah, we've checked them out, and we'll be revealing them to each other on mic in a little while. But first, Samuel, any other recs besides the Odyssey?
I watched the Scream Factory 4K of George Romero's Land of the Dead last night.
Is this, I have this, right? This is the new one, the 2-pack?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
What's this? Day of the Dead?
Yes.
What did you watch?
Yes. Land of the Dead.
What is that? Do I have that?
I don't think so. I don't know. It is the 4th movie in the Romero zombie saga. So I guess technically it is the sequel to Day of the Dead, produced about 20 years after Day of the Dead came out. The first George Romero movie I ever saw in theaters.
This movie is from 2005.
Yes. It's pretty cheesy and it's pretty silly, but I totally forgot that John Leguizamo was in this movie.
And Dennis Hopper.
Yep.
Oh.
And having just seen old Johnny in the Odyssey, I was pretty happy to watch him pop up last night.
Dude, mark my words. Best supporting actor.
Oh,
Johnny Legs, The Odyssey.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
You know what they say, Sam? You always get it for one after you deserved it for. John Leguizamo is incredible in The Odyssey. I want nothing more than for him to win for it, but he should have won for Spawn.
Yeah. He's fucking awesome in Spawn.
You're telling me Nolan didn't watch Spawn and think this guy?
He's the best part of Spawn, hands down. But I digress. Land of the Dead is a pretty silly but fun time. The issue is that I think Simon Baker is the lead actor in this movie.
The boyfriend from the mistress, the encroaching boyfriend from Devil Wears Prada.
I've never seen that.
What?
So maybe.
I think that's true. A blonde, handsome guy.
Yeah. He's not a good actor, though.
But you've never seen Devil Wears Prada. How can you say that?
Because I just watched Land of the fucking Dead, which is in every frame of. No, it's fun enough. It's not good, but I think if you have a soft spot for Romero or you have a soft spot for this movie now that it's 20 years old, it's a fun rewatch. There is CGI in it, but it's not as egregious as some of the other movies from that time.
What's up with the one I asked about that I bought?
Day of the Dead?
Yeah.
It fucking rocks.
Okay.
I think it's the unsung title of his entire career.
Okay. Sweet.
Do you have any recommendations for our listeners, Marty?
I would like to recommend one, Sam, that you recommended to me.
Ooh.
I posted a little bit about it on our Letterboxd. It's a film called Throw Mama from the Train.
Oh, baby.
Recently released on 4K from Kino Lorber. This is a Danny DeVito movie from when? The 90s or late 80s? 87.
Ooh.
Directed by Danny DeVito, starring Billy Crystal and Danny DeVito. And it's basically like a comedy thriller send-up of Hitchcock's Strangers on a Train, where two people meet each other kind of by chance, and both of them are suffering from someone in their lives, and a scheme is hatched where if I kill this person for you and you kill this person for me, there will be no motivation. No one will know we're in cahoots because we're strangers. And this movie's super funny. And yeah, great 4K, looked great, really fun. I love Danny DeVito. I talked about Death to Smoochie on our last episode, I believe, which he also directed. And he's just really great behind the camera. I mean, obviously, Danny DeVito in front of the camera is just one of the best ever. But him behind the camera is so filled with energy and creativity. It's just sort of nonstop exploration. You can really feel his excitement. There's some amazing ideas, visually and things like that in Throw Mama.
I'm really excited to rewatch that. It's been a long time. I've got the 4K sitting here.
Good.
And I picked up, did I tell you that I picked up Death to Smoochie, the Blu-ray?
Oh, no, that's great.
Hell yeah.
No slip on that, though, huh?
No.
They never did one. Sam, any confessions?
Oh my God, Marty.
We're in the heat of the Criterion sale, which has just ended actually today upon recording this episode.
So Criterion sale ended only to give birth to the Arrow sale over at Barnes & Noble, which started today. And I already went a little psycho.
What'd you grab from the Arrow sale?
It was mainly a bunch of stuff that I'd been circling but had yet to pull the trigger on. So I grabbed the 4K of Identity. Why not?
Wait, do I have that?
I think so. I think you pre-ordered it, didn't you?
Is it already out?
I think it comes out in 2 weeks.
Okay.
The 4K of The People versus Larry Flint.
Okay.
The 4K of Troy.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm so sad Troy's not out, so I
could do it for this episode.
Yeah.
A Blu-ray of a movie called American Yakuza, starring Viggo Mortensen. The Blu-ray of a movie called Steppenwolf, which I don't really know anything about, but people liked it a lot.
Is it about the theater in Chicago?
Unfortunately not, nor the band. But people liked it. I remember reading some interesting stuff about it. The Blu-ray of this movie called The Outfit, which we briefly talked about on this podcast.
Robert Duvall.
Yep. And the 4K of a movie called The House with Laughing Windows, which is apparently an Italian giallo movie that I wasn't too familiar about and then ended up reading about last night, and it sounded great. So sign me up, baby.
And you did all this online?
This was all online, getting shipped to my house.
Do you still go to physical Barnes & Nobles?
There's only, basically the best one near me is out in the suburbs, so I will go to it when I have time. So while I would like to go get them in person, I can't always do that.
I went to a Barnes & Noble to pick up the third of my Sword and Sandal films, Sam.
Ooh.
As kind of a spur of the moment. Where can I find this movie now that nobody sells movies anymore like Best Buy?
Mm-hmm.
And Barnes & Noble popped in my head, and sure enough.
Honestly, they are a big draw at this point because they are one of the only stores that stocks newer titles.
It's true. And they have good sales.
Their sales are great, honestly. I briefly just mentioned this, but I did do an Orbit order with Death to Smoochie, The Great Outdoors, the motherfucking Phantom.
Yeah, baby. We almost put that on the other night.
Ooh, hell yeah. When are we doing that on the show?
Never.
And then the 4K of Wrong Turn from Umbrella.
What's up with Wrong Turn?
Dude, Wrong Turn, I've said this before, probably not on this show, but I think that if Wrong Turn would have come out in the 80s, it would be like heralded as a horror masterpiece. And it came out in the 2000s, which I still think it's really good, but the color grading on it looks like garbage.
Because it's bad digital?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they kind of tried to balance that out by like dialing the colors way up.
Okay. Well, Sam, it's no surprise to you, I'm sure, that I lost my mind at the Criterion sale.
I didn't get a single one this time.
Wow.
I'll get some in November, but yeah.
They should send you like a badge of honor for that. I mean, I don't even fucking know where to begin, dude. I probably bought 15.
Holy shit, dude. You lost your goddamn mind, dog.
I really did. I don't even, like, I just leave it there. Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares what I got? It was
what
a
are
lot.
your top 3?
That I'm, like, excited for?
Mm-hmm.
I got the Mike Mills box set. I'm very excited for that. That includes Come On, Come On, Beginners, and 20th Century Women. The latter of those two I have not seen, so I'm really excited because I loved Come On, Come On, and they're both like indies that now I'm like, what? How did I miss those?
Mm-hmm. Beginners is the only one that I have seen.
Cool. Yeah, I think we talked about that a little bit when it was announced. Yeah. There's an Errol Flynn movie called Captain Blood, which is like a 30s pirate movie. I think kind of blew him up, Errol Flynn, which they did a 4K of recently that I'm very excited to watch.
Hell yeah.
Seems very fun. And number 3, I will give to a Western that I haven't seen called Winchester 73, starring Jimmy Stewart.
I don't even remember hearing about this.
It's supposed to be pretty dark, and I believe like follows on some level the path of a gun that is like passed among hands.
Oh.
And I think for him it's supposed to be kind of a dark performance.
Yeah. I think I have heard about this movie.
Those I would say are the ones that I'm like going to put on first.
That sounds like a good haul.
Yeah, feeling pretty great about that. And then I did do a Orbit order because this can transition us into announcements that included Second Sight's version of Sexy Beast.
Yeah.
Which is the first film from Jonathan Glazer.
Oh, really?
This was a, yeah. And was like never on, I don't want to say it was never on Blu-ray. I think it might have been a Twilight Time Blu-ray that became immediately very hard to get.
Interesting.
And I always assumed Criterion would pick it up at some point. They recently just did Birth, which is his second movie, which is fantastic.
Well, it doesn't mean that they won't, because isn't Second Sight UK?
That's true.
Yeah.
But I woke up one morning and saw that they had that for sale. And it was fun because like I don't have an Instagram personally. We have one for the show. I use it, but I don't have it on my phone just for like sanity's sake. And sometimes I don't find out about announcements until I go on Orbit on my phone. And I was like, oh my God. I saw it was for sale and
immediately got on it.
What else was announced, Sam?
You know, Marty, we talked about this briefly last week, but it's been a little quiet in this realm. And that's okay. I'll start saving my pennies. But we finally got a date for the Damon Wayans, Adam Sandler
Bulletproof
movie called Bulletproof. That'll be coming out in September.
Sign me right up for that. Yeah, you're right. I mean, should we be nervous? Is it all coming down?
No, I think we're doing fine. But honestly, I'll take a little bit of a break. That's not the worst thing I've ever heard of.
Did we talk about Manhunter?
I don't think so.
So Studio Canal is doing like a really big box version of Michael Mann's Manhunter, which is unfortunately, in my opinion, only like a new cut of the film and doesn't include the originals. This is an 1986 crime thriller that is based on the novel Red Dragon by Thomas Harris, the original cinematic adaptation of a Hannibal Lecter movie directed by Michael Mann.
That fucking rocks.
It's so good, and has been like an out-of-print Blu-ray from Scream Factory that is great. It included a director's cut, but this, I guess, is being called the final cut, which I imagine is going to have a theatrical limited re-release of some kind, I would assume.
I have a ticket to it.
Oh, cool. Interesting.
Yeah.
I just, I'd rather see the original.
Here's my thing is I do think Criterion is going to announce this title down the road for whatever reason. I just have a feeling. And I hope in their announcement, it gets a 4K of each cut because I am intrigued at comparing the two. But I do find it a little bit of a bummer that the original cut is not included in this because this box set's like 4 discs.
Yeah.
But I do think I will be picking this up.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, man. I guess it depends on how I feel about the final cut after I see it in theaters, but I want this.
That's fair. I'm very, very curious to hear what you think.
Marty, here's a fucking question for you.
Lay it on me.
What's up with Canada's The Clown Murders starring a young John Candy?
Coming soon from Kino Cult on 4K.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome. Great poster.
1970s Canadian slasher. Come on, dude.
Where are you at on these Kino Cults? I know you've bought a bunch. Have you watched any of those?
No. I mean, maybe 1 or 2, but I don't think so. I mean, I'm sure they're great.
Someone on Instagram on the Disconnected commented on the Clown Murders announcement and said, reminds me of my honeymoon.
The newer label Toy Robot Video announced they're doing a UK 4K of Trick or Treat, the 1986 rock and roll metal horror movie.
Okay, explain this to me, Sam. There is the Trick or Treat that came out from Arrow.
But that's just R apostrophe treat. This is Trick or Treat.
What's up with Trick or Treat?
Fucking rocks, dude.
Wow. Is it like Slumber Party Massacre Part 2 where the guy's got the guitar that's killing people?
No, it's like, if I remember correctly, there's like a teenage outcast who gets really sad because his like heavy metal rock and roll idol dies, but as Halloween like gets closer, this rock and roll idol keeps like the ghost of this person keeps like coming up to murder people, sometimes with a guitar, sometimes just in other crazy ways. But I think it was a movie that was playing on a lot of the all metal bands are satanic crazy people in the 80s craze.
Got it.
But it rocks. I've seen it in theaters before, and it's just a really fun time.
The last one I'll mention is they're doing a 4K release from Lionsgate of Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, which was a 2023 movie with Rachel McAdams, and it's great. And I really like this movie, and I'm just like
phenomenal,
confused why it's just suddenly popped up on 4K. I'm so excited that it's getting a little more attention, but what's up with that?
What do you mean?
It just seems like rare that like a studio label releases an upgraded format version of a movie that's, so recent, and it's not like a boutique label or something that's like picking it up.
Well, did they have...
You love to see it. I'm just confused. It came out on Blu-ray.
It did come out on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of a strange upgrade, honestly, but it is a great movie, so we'll take it.
We'll take it.
I don't think it really found its audience in theaters, which is unfortunate because it is a really well done adaptation.
Yeah.
Marty, before we get into our fantasy Sword and Sandal, Sword and Sorcery picks, I think we need to pour one out for a good friend of this podcast.
I know.
Our beloved Chuck Russell passed away.
Director of The Mask, Eraser, the 80s
Blob.
version of The Blob. Yeah. Fuck.
Come on. Nightmare on Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors. If you've listened to this show, we've loved to talk about Chuck Russell and how great we think he is. So this was a bit of bad news for the old PT movie pod.
We need to erect a statue of him in the lobby of PT Pod HQ.
Yeah. And the minute you walk into the door of the HQ, it's just going to go, your luggage.
Sword and Sandal, Sam.
Do you call it Sword and Sandal or Sword and Sorcery?
Sword and Sandal. The fact that you're saying sorcery makes me think we went in different directions.
Dog, we had a housewarming party this past weekend, and I kept saying Sword and Sandal, and everyone was like, I think it's Sword and Sorcery.
It's not. It's just simply not. Sword and Sandal is referencing old school, epic, golden age of Hollywood titles that have nothing to do with sorcery.
I definitely did not go in that round or in that realm at all.
But, okay, to be fair, I think the Odyssey captures both.
Okay, I definitely went more towards sorcery then, I guess.
Okay. A time of apparent magic.
Hey, man, we're just here to help you guys with your movie picks.
Okay, great. Well, Sam, would you like to kick it off with your first pick of 3?
I am going to talk about them in the order that I watched them.
Okay.
So the first movie I watched is 1983's Death Stalker. This is a B movie drive-in classic, I believe produced by Roger Corman.
Oh.
This is a pretty silly movie that at one point I had to pause and look up if it was considered a softcore porno because there's an ass cheek or a boob in, I believe, every scene of this movie.
Okay. Who put this out?
Shout Factory. They put out a dual 4K Blu-ray pack of both Death Stalker and Death Stalker 2. There are 4 Death Stalker movies in the original quadrilogy, and then Death Stalker actually got remade in 2025 by the guy who did you ever see that movie Into the Void?
Enter the Void?
No, I'm sorry. It's just called The Void.
Oh, no.
It was a very inspired by John Carpenter 2016 movie that was actually pretty good. And that director directed the remake of Death Stalker, which I also own and I haven't watched yet. But I've owned the original version of Death Stalker for longer, so I wanted to watch that one for this episode. And this is a pretty silly movie about a guy who's just called Death Stalker the entire time. And it's he is on a quest to find 3 mythical objects, a sword, a chalice, and an amulet. And when he can find all 3 of those things, he can defeat an evil king who's taken over this land. And it's 82 minutes, and guess what? He finds all 3 of those things and kills the king.
Does he have to go through any cool trials and tribulations to achieve each object, to acquire each object?
Not really. Truly, he crawls through a cave at one point, and this witch-like creature just gives him the sword. And then they also say whoever holds this sword can't be defeated. And this is 15 minutes into the movie. So you're all right, well, there goes that.
Yeah.
Very much like a He-Man ripoff. There's some fun stuff in it. There's a couple okay fights. But for the most part, it was a little silly to sit through and kind of grating a little bit. But I had a fun enough time with it. I definitely got to watch Death Stalker 2 because it's packaged with this.
Directed by anyone significant?
No, dude. James, I can't even. It is something so Italian that I can't even begin to. But he was the second unit director on both Frailty and Reindeer Games.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah.
That's wild. Classics.
He only ever made 2 movies, Death Stalker and Under the Gun. Both are sitting at a 4.6 on IMDb.
Well, you started us off strong, Sam.
What was your first?
Well, speaking of softcore porn, I'm going to take us to hardcore porn, Sam.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm going to say?
No idea.
I watched the original cut, not the quote unquote ultimate cut of a movie called Caligula.
Whoa, okay. You bought this like big set from a couple years ago or 2 years ago?
I did. I bought not umbrellas, right? Umbrella did like a big one.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't buy that one. Mine is from Draft House, actually.
Like the Alamo Draft House?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Draft House releasing. In this movie, I should say, it stars Malcolm McDowell, Helen Mirren, and Peter O'Toole. And it's about the kind of assassination of Tiberius Caesar by Caligula, who is played by Malcolm McDowell, who assumes the throne of Rome and just is a bad man and abuses his power in really sadistic, fucked up ways. And the whole thing is like they did like a full-blown recut of this movie because when it was released in 1979, the producer, his name is Bob Guccione,
Okay.
was also the founder of Penthouse magazine.
Hell yeah.
And he like took the movie away from the director, Tinto Brass is his name,
Yep.
and the screenwriter Gore Vidal, and like reshot a bunch of hardcore sex scenes that they just like interject in this movie constantly. And when it came out, I think everyone involved was kind of like, what the fuck? So they, kind of put it back together closer to its original intention as best that they could. And it debuted at the Cannes Film Festival in 2023. And then this box set came out after that. So this includes like a restored version of the film on like disc 1 that is this ultimate cut. But on disc 2, there's a 4K of the original cut, which is really fun because it's not restored. It's like a scan of a print, I guess, that they found in some warehouse in Boston or something, where they think basically it's what was screened at the time when it came out. And this, I think there was a shitload of controversy when this came out. And so this transfer is the closest thing I've ever seen on any disc that I've ever purchased to just like, you feel like you're watching like a rundown print.
Yeah.
It's 4K, which is nice, but there's no HDR, there's no cleanup of any like debris and dirt, and the sound of film is present too, which is kind of cool.
That's so funny.
It's all like kind of tinted red, like it's deteriorated. And this is like a 2.5 hour movie. It's an undertaking on some level.
You watched that cut?
I watched that cut.
Wow.
And because I was like researching it a little bit because I like it. We were talking about Manhunter. I'm not always super stoked, especially to discover a movie for the first time.
Sure.
With a recut. I'm more interested in like, okay, what was this like when it first released? This movie rocks, dude.
Does it really?
Super entertaining. It's like the sex stuff is just bizarre that you're just like within 10 minutes you're just desensitized by it, and like it just adds to this aura of debauchery and absolute insanity. You've never really seen anything like it. You can see why it pissed people off, but
fucking cowards, all of them.
I was surprised by like Malcolm McDowell, I guess, spoke out about when this ultimate cut came out, and he was like, finally, like the acting is restored, like the performances are kind of back to like what they should have been and stuff. But dude, he's fucking awesome in this movie. Peter O'Toole plays Tiberius and is like a fucking madman who's like, looks like he has chlamydia or syphilis or something. He's like just surrounded by like naked people and like has sores all over his face and is like delivering these crazy lines. It's wild, man. I recommend this.
Hell yeah. Dude, my second pick was 1985's Red Sonja.
Oh,
presented in a beautiful big box from our friends over at Arrow Video.
I have it. Tell me all about it.
This movie stars Brigitte Nielsen in her film debut, Arnold Schwarzenegger as not Conan, but playing Conan, basically.
Oh, really? I thought he was Conan.
Nope, he goes by a different name the entire time. It is Calidor.
Okay, so in my brain, this was like a sort of adjacent sequel to the Conan movies.
It makes no sense. It's directed by Richard Fleischer, who directed the second Conan movie, Conan the Destroyer. It is based off a character, Red Sonja, created by Robert E. Howard, who created Conan. And it must have been a rights thing that they couldn't call him that because he plays a character who is essentially Conan. He has the same sword. It's like the same time period. In the novels and the comic book versions of the Red Sonja character, she exists in the same land and time that the Conan character exists. This movie blows ass. I don't know what else to say.
Oh, no.
This movie is like barely watchable.
Oh my God.
It is so fucking cheesy and so it feels like poorly put together. You know, Schwarzenegger is the first billed person in the movie, and the movie opens with him riding a horse, and then he disappears for like 25 minutes straight. So you can watch Brigitte Nielsen try to fucking act and fail motherfucking miserably the entire time. The sets aren't cool. There's a couple people who get their fucking head chopped off and you see like a severed head like fly over the screen, which is I will always enjoy. But yeah, dude, this was kind of a letdown. I thought it was going to be cheesy and fun, and it is cheesy. It's not super fun. I was reading some old reviews of this movie, and one reviewer wrote, while considered a sword and sorcery or sword and sandals movie, it's more of a grunt and groan movie where the actors grunt and the audience groans along with them.
Fuck.
I also read a quote from Arnold that said, Red Sonja is the worst movie I've ever been part of. When my kids would misbehave, I'd say to them, you better shape up or I'm going to make you watch Red Sonja 10 times in a row.
Oh my God. And Arrow put out a big box set.
Yep, which I guess I'll keep till I'm dead, but it is pretty lame. Another like mid-80s movie that wrote in a child character for no reason at all other than like maybe some comedic relief, and that character is so grating after a while.
Oh my God.
Sorry, buddy. This was like a big old... Like, I feel like 2 out of 10 is giving it maybe too much credit.
I thought this would be a slam dunk after my love for Conan.
Me too. Really, it's Brigitte. It's like the biggest issue with it.
And she's from Cobra?
Yeah.
Did we do an episode on Cobra?
Yeah, we did.
Cobra's so good.
Cobra rocks. Yeah, she's also Ivan Drago's wife in Rocky IV. I think they cast her because of her size. She's very tall, her beauty, I guess. But this is like, it didn't do much at all for me. It was kind of another shorter movie that felt like fairly hard to get through.
What does he say in Cobra? He's like, crime is a disease, I'm the cure.
Yep, pretty much.
Dude.
I just can't get over that scene where he cuts the fucking pizza with a pair of scissors. I would, you got to watch your copy of Red Sonja without a doubt, but I am intrigued to hear your thoughts and feelings about it, knowing you're coming from a love of Arnold Schwarzenegger like myself.
I'll watch it. All right, Sam, I got one pick that is I texted you, I was like, you're going to crawl through the microphone and beat the shit out of me. I'm going to save that. That's going to be my final one.
Okay.
So next up, Sam, I watched a 4K recently released from Warner Brothers of a 1959 winner of 11 Academy Awards, a movie I'd never seen called Ben-Hur.
I've also never seen this.
Are you aware that Ben-Hur is incredibly Christian in its narrative? Like, it is happening during and involving the life of Jesus Christ kind of constantly?
No.
Neither was I. I had no idea that this movie was religious.
Yeah.
The Christ story is happening like on the kind of periphery of the film and like, comes in and out thematically and things like that. But Charlton Heston does not play Jesus. He plays a man named Judah Ben-Hur, who is a Jewish man living in Israel as it's being taken over by the Romans, and in particularly a Roman who he like grew up with, was a childhood friend of his, and now they are kind of at odds, and Ben-Hur is like sold into slavery with the Romans and eventually like becomes a Roman. The most famous sequence of this film is like a chariot race that happens like in a Colosseum-like setting that is absolutely fucking thrilling. Like, just so good. Ben-Hur rocks, dude.
Does it really?
I highly recommend it. Ben-Hur's so good. A classic old Hollywood spectacle.
Is there... Remember that scene in Gladiator when there's the chariots in the Colosseum and that one archer chick gets cut in half by one of the blades on the chariot?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a scene that's that sick in Ben-Hur?
I'll say there were 2 examples in this movie. You know, like when you're watching John Wick, Sam, and something happens and you out loud go, "Oh!"
Yeah. Yep.
Because you're seeing a stunt or a moment of kind of violence that's so visceral and shocking. It happened twice in Ben-Hur, which, I think by today's standards, that type of thing happens less when you're watching a movie that's 60 years old.
Sure.
Plus. One is a chariot moment where it's a couple times, honestly, during the chariot scene, but I'll just kind of count it as one where people go under the chariots and under the horses.
Yeah.
It happens to like 6 people, and it's fucking brutal. Just in camera.
Yeah.
They're using dummies and stuff, but it really looks good. And you just like feel your entire body breaking while you watch it. And then another moment that I don't think I've ever seen in another movie, Charlton Heston takes a torch and like in a wide shot during a fight, hits a stuntman whose face is like covered in fireproof jelly in the face with a torch, and his entire head just erupts in fire.
Whoa.
I was like, holy shit.
That fucking rocks.
Incredible 4K. Back in the day, it was filmed in 65 millimeter Technicolor, and this is like an 8K scan of it. The aspect ratio is like 276:1, so super narrow, big black bars. If you're watching it on a 16:9 screen, and just so cinematic. Like I say, it's very long. It's split onto 2 discs, 2 4K discs. So it's an endeavor, but really entertaining.
That sounds good. Yeah, it's one of those things where I feel like I never have the right time or the desire to be like, oh, I'm going to throw on this, 222-minute massive biblical epic, but maybe now's the time.
If you can, you can either get this 4K or if you could ever catch it out in the wild at the Hollywood or wherever near you.
Sure.
A big screen version of it would be so cool.
Dude, how about that scene in the Odyssey when Odysseus is presenting himself to the suitors, and at one point somebody grabs a shield and then he hits that person with a hammer and they fly like fucking 500 feet through a castle. The second time that I saw it, I went, oh! For sure. Super hard.
There's a few of those moments in the Odyssey.
Oh, yeah.
I think in that same scene, there's a scene where I thought of you because he takes some type of blade and hits a dude, like stabs a dude 3 times, like kind of under his like armpit, like where there's like a break in his armor, and it's like,
yeah. I think it's an arrow, honestly.
Yeah, fuck.
It fucking rocks.
Oh my god,
dude, the Odyssey rocks.
The Odyssey rocks. Oh my god, that 4K is going to be so good.
It's going to be nuts.
First movie to ever be shot entirely in IMAX, which is like the highest resolution on Earth, and oh my god,
we are jonesing for it at this point.
Anyways, what's your last pick, Sam?
So for my third and final pick, it came just in time to do this assignment, but I watched MVD Video's new 4K transfer of 1983's Fire and Ice. This is a Ralph Bashki directed, Frank Frazetta produced sword and sorcery rotoscoped epic. So if you don't know what rotoscoping is, it's when you basically shoot a movie with live actors and then somebody animates over it to give it a really interesting animated look to it. The background artists painted all these beautiful scenes for these characters to get painted into. It is a phenomenal, crazy, awesome movie. The basic plot of this movie is that there's a character named Tarn who is trying to fight against Necron and his evil mother, Queen Juliana, who keep forcing more and more ice closer to this volcano because they are trying to ice over the entire world and take it over. So Tarn has lost his family and the rest of the villagers from his tribe, and he swears revenge against these people. And in that, he meets a great character named Dark Wolf, and they fuck up a bunch of Necron's evil forces.
Hell yeah.
This is a movie based on Frank Frazetta's art, so there are scenes in which it's like, oh, that's the painting Death Dealer. Oh, that's the painting The Silver Rider. Like they straight up take paintings that Frank Frazetta did and somehow work them into this movie. And it's this incredibly creative and beautiful to look at, if not kind of rough because of the rotoscoping. But all the backgrounds are so beautifully painted, and on this 4K, it really looks like these incredible characters are moving through these living paintings. And I was just like, this is probably my third or fourth time watching this movie, and I was just blown away by it again. It's such an interesting use of art and animation within the fantasy world. It was tough for me to have a bad time watching this movie. And Darkwolf is such a fucking cool character. He's got like, I think it's a helmet, but you can never really tell. He's got almost like a wolf-like head, but the rest of his body's human. And he has this axe that just fucks people up with the whole movie. It rocks, dude.
This is a 4K?
This is a 4K. It comes with a Blu-ray as well as the soundtrack on CD. So this is a 3-disc steelbook with a slip sleeve. It's got a bunch of new extras on it, a bunch of legacy extras on it. There's a Robert Rodriguez appreciation of it. He was trying to get a live action version of this off the ground years ago and never really went anywhere, unfortunately. But Ralph Bakshi is the guy who directed the original Lord of the Rings animated movie, or Fritz the Cat, or Wizards, all kind of well-known alternative animated movies from the 70s and 80s. And I highly recommend this.
All right, Sam. Are you ready
Marty. Oh, God.
Really test our friendship? So, God.
Dog, are you about to tell me you watched
my God.
Are you about to tell me you watched The Passion of the Christ?
No. No, I was watching, I was down a real rabbit hole on Christopher Nolan interviews on YouTube, and I came across a movie that he's a huge fan of.
Oh, no.
That I was like, oh, shit. Was I wrong?
Oh, no.
Got in my car, Sam, drove to Barnes & Noble, bought a copy, immediately came home and watched a 4K of, you ready? Gladiator 2, baby.
Get the fuck out of here.
Gladiator 2, directed by Ridley Scott, 2024. This movie came out.
Gladiator 1 was in my short list for this.
Hell yeah, dude. This film stars Paul Mescal, Pedro Pascal, Joseph Quinn, Connie Nielsen, and Denzel Washington, and is a sequel to Gladiator that follows the events of Maximus's son as he is captured by the Roman Empire and thrown into slavery to become a gladiator like his father. Ugh. All right, here's the thing, Sam. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
CGI, not good.
It's in all honesty, it's some of the worst CGI in a major budgeted movie ever.
Pretty bad. What's really fascinating is, this movie begins with like a huge Roman invasion by sea on, I believe, a city somewhere in Africa, North Africa. It's all these Roman ships coming in, shooting, what do you call it?
Cannonballs?
Yeah, but like a trebuchet, is that what it's called? Trebuchet?
No idea.
A catapult, like like flaming fucking cannonballs coming out of a catapult. Ben-Hur has a very similar sequence that isn't ships invading, but it's like a ship on ship fight with the same exact kind of boats, using the same weaponry. That's all miniatures. It's so fucking sick in Ben-Hur.
Yeah.
And this is all CGI and unfortunately terrible. And then you get the absolute opposite of both of those with the Odyssey, which is just fucking real.
Yes.
Okay, so it started, that scene happened, and I was like, okay, maybe I was right about Gladiator 2. And then there's a couple other sequences that, basically all of the big set pieces have bad CGI. You have to swallow that.
No.
The thing about Gladiator 2 that's tight is the performances are really fun from Denzel. There's like twin emperors who are played by Joseph Quinn, who's fucking awesome, by the way. And exploding. He's about to be George Harrison in
I'm not
the
seeing
Beatles
any
movie?
of those fucking movies.
Okay, well, he's going to be George Harrison, Sam. Who's in Warfare.
He's also the Human Torch.
That's right. He's a big Marvel person now. And then Fred Hetchinger, I don't know exactly, Heckinger from White Lotus season 1.
Dog, are you forgetting he plays the chameleon in Kraven the Hunter?
Yeah, I'm forgetting. He rocks too. But they play these two twin brothers who are the emperors of Rome and not nice people. And, it's just like, it's very entertaining. The service it has to play to being a sequel to Gladiator can be kind of annoying.
Dude, kind of. Listen, man, I get it. I know what you're trying to do. This movie sucks. This movie fucking sucks. Everything about it.
I was entertained beginning to end, though. Beginning to end, dude, I was like, okay, the expectations were gone. I saw this in the theater. The expectations were very high. This time I went in being like, this movie is probably terrible. Let's just see. 2.5 hours later, man, I was like, I'm glad I have it.
Get the fuck out of here. Paul Mescal's terribly miscast in that movie, and his performance is not good. Pedro Pascal shouldn't be in that movie.
Great character, Pedro Pascal, because he's like a Roman general who wants to overthrow Rome and like doesn't want to fight anymore.
Yeah.
It's
the
great.
Movie's trash, man. Like, the movie's fucking trash.
And Denzel
Those fucking monkey dog things.
That part's bad. See, that's one of the CGI parts that's bad. But the real monkey, the little monkey, rocks. The shark scene is bad. But it's tight. It's also tight. The fighting was better than I remembered.
I can't. It's so bad. It's just so bad, dude.
Looks great on 4K.
I'm sure it does, except for all the fucking terrible CGI.
Highly recommend it. There you go, people. Sword and Sandal. The Odyssey is the best movie ever made. Gladiator 2 is right behind it.
Second to that. Oh my God. Yeah, I got a pile of honorable mentions, as well as starting with Deathstalker 2 and the Deathstalker remake that I think I might be watching tonight.
I'll tell you what, I had a disc issue for one that I was like, it was number 1 when we decided to do this. And I have to exchange it. But I had a disc issue with the brand new Sony release of The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad.
No, you were so excited for that one.
I know, which we started the other night and is undoubtedly a big influence on the Odyssey.
Sure.
So I got to replace that, but I recommend that disc. It's pretty fucking amazing. That
Hell yeah.
Great Harryhausen stuff. But there's many out there, Sam. You know, it's a fun genre, especially when you include sorcery as you did. Sword, sandals, and sorcery.
I just basically was like, does this take place in a time that's not now, and does somebody have a sword?
I thought about Hail Caesar, which would have been a little like a cheeky one, but
sure.
I appreciated the sequences of Hail Caesar in which they are shooting. This is the Coen brothers kind of send up of 50s Hollywood. Hail Caesar recently came out on Shout Factory, but I really appreciated this sort of big epic Roman movie that they're making in that movie, because it is obviously Ben-Hur.
Yeah. Much like the scene in your beloved Babylon.
Yeah, for sure. Is Babylon a sword sandal movie?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, Sam, before we go, it's time to put wishes out into the physical media universe for titles and formats that do not yet exist. I wish for a 4K of Jonathan Glazer's Under the Skin.
I wish for a 4K of The Last of the Mohicans. Under the Skin fucking rocks, dude.
So good. This is Jonathan Glazer's only film that is not on 4K. He's the director that we mentioned earlier in the episode of Sexy Beast, Birth, and most recently The Zone of Interest. He's a big music video director. He's got only 4 features, I believe, that are all absolutely amazing.
Why am I thinking he's the one who directed In the Bedroom?
That's Todd Field.
Who also only has like 3 or 4 movies, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also incredible. Under the Skin stars Scarlett Johansson as an alien who basically drives like a passenger van around Edinburgh, Scotland, lures men into her car, and then uses her sexuality to basically like abduct them into a pit of black, endless goo.
That like revitalizes her.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome, crazy, great movie. That apparently a lot of the like abductions where Scarlett Johansson is meeting these people driving around were unscripted.
Unscripted with non-actors, right?
Yeah.
Like she would pull up and they'd have like hidden cameras basically, and she's sort of like wigged up in a way that you wouldn't maybe recognize her as Scarlett Johansson right away. And she just like pulls up on the street and starts flirting with strangers.
Fucking insane, but so
it's crazy.
Good.
Yeah, it's crazy. A24, right? Is it A24?
I think it's an early A24.
All right, Sam. Last of the Mohicans, Michael Mann.
Yeah, not a Sword and Sandal epic, but an epic nonetheless. This is a Michael Mann movie from the early 90s that has probably my favorite film score of all time in it. An incredibly beautiful, moving, and violent movie about a struggling Native American tribe called the Mohicans and the expansion of the Americas. I would love to have this on 4K. Shot on film, on location, in the middle of the woods. This movie is fucking nuts. Starring Daniel Day-Lewis. This is like when he really got notoriety for being a method actor. He like lived in the woods for a month before they started shooting. Michael Mann. Fox had to send somebody to the set just to say, Michael Mann, like, enough, we got it. Don't do another take. You're so over budget and over... like, it was just a mess, but it turns out to be an incredible movie.
What does he say? Stay alive.
Stay alive. I will find you. It's so good, dude. Good.
Who's most likely?
I mean, I would love it if it was Arrow, but I doubt it. Probably Sony, right? Aren't they putting a lot of the Disney stuff out at this point?
Is that true?
I thought Sony was hired on to help.
Oh, yeah, that could be. Yeah.
Get some of their physical stuff out.
Yeah.
Because they got rid of their entire home video team.
I could see Criterion doing this.
Fucking hell yeah. I mean, which Mans have they done? Thief and just Thief?
I think that's it, yeah.
Okay. I mean, give me Miami Vice, give me Last of the Mohicans, give me them all, dude. Except for fucking Public Enemies.
Hard disagree. I'll take that any day.
Did we talk about this last episode? Did they announce a Insider 4K?
No, they did not.
God damn it.
I would say like that is probably the most likely Criterion upgrade of his.
Yes.
Or Manhunter, as you said. Okay, that is it for another episode of Physical Therapy, a movie podcast. A big thank you to Kimberly for producing from afar. Thank you to Patrick Laban for our incredible music. Thank you to Shannon Horseman for our artwork. We will be appearing on a Patreon near you at some point soon, so look forward to that.
Our Instagram and Letterboxd pages are at PT Movie Pod. Please check us out there. Again, you can see what Kurt and I are watching throughout the week. If you have some time, we would love it if you gave us a like, a follow, a subscribe, and if you could write a review if you have the time. No pressure, but it does help us get out there. We will be back. Marty, do we have any idea what we're doing next?
I was just looking to see if Mars Attacks was going to be out in time, Sam, but it's not. So I think we might have to do Mars Attacks in two episodes from now. So we'll have to figure it out for next time.
If you want to hear the Phantom, shoot us a bunch of Instagram messages.
We're ready to go on the Phantom. What's up with the Phantom?
Dog, no smoking in the Skull Cave.